In the depths of an enchanted jungle lies the fabled city of El Dorado, a place of unimaginable wealth and mystery. Ancient stories tell of a golden king performing sacred rituals at a mystical lake where golden light pulses with power and mystery. But El Dorado is not just about wealth. It is a test of character, and only those with pure intentions can find it. The pursuit of material wealth can lead to downfall unless guided by wisdom and self-awareness. The Legend of El Dorado also captivated the Spanish conquistadors, driven by greed and ambition. Their relentless quest took them through harsh jungles and treacherous rivers. Along the way, they encountered strange symbols hinting at a magical presence. A local elder warned them of the dangers ahead, but their ambition blinded them to wisdom. Navigating the enchanted jungle. The explorers enter the enchanted jungle, where paths shift with every step. Those who choose greed find themselves lost, while the cautious discover hidden routes. Luminous birds and spirit animals guide the respectful explorers, lighting up the dark forest with their glow. A disrespectful explorer triggers a magical trap, teaching a harsh lesson about balance and respect for nature. The Golden Guardian's test. At the heart of the jungle, a golden guardian appears in a burst of light, setting a test for the explorers. The protagonist faces a choice: help a struggling companion or race to the treasure. Choosing selflessness, they aid their friend. Proving their worth, the protagonist is granted access to the sacred city of El Dorado, the true reward of their journey. The protagonist embarks on a journey through a mystical labyrinth inside El Dorado, where every twist and turn presents challenges that test emotional resilience and moral character. Learning to adapt to change and uncertainty. The protagonist encounters an illusion where they must choose to trust a stranger, another adventurer. Trust and collaboration can overcome isolation. The labyrinth projects fears and self-doubt, forcing the protagonist to confront their insecurities. Conquering inner fears is essential for progress. The protagonist finds a magical compass that only works when one acts with integrity. Honesty and authenticity are guiding forces. Emerging from the labyrinth, the protagonist faces a final trial overseen by elemental guardians representing fire, water, earth, and air. True courage is facing truth, not physical danger. The Water Guardian presents a test of compassion, where the protagonist must heal a wounded spirit by showing empathy. Compassion heals and strengthens bonds. The Earth Guardian presents a test of resilience, involving moving a massive stone by channeling inner resolve. Persistence and determination shape outcomes. The Air Guardian presents a test of balance, where the protagonist must cross a bridge of wind. Balance in life is essential for stability. After passing the trials, the protagonist receives a key made of light, symbolizing wisdom and enlightenment rather than material wealth. The journey and personal growth are the true treasures. The protagonist arrives at a mystical forest alive with sentient flora and whispering trees. The forest is both a guide and a test, reflecting inner struggles and offering profound lessons. Vines come alive, blocking paths, and strange creatures challenge the protagonist to navigate obstacles, requiring both courage and wit. The protagonist struggles with the vines and creatures, learning that not all guidance is trustworthy, emphasizing critical thinking and inner strength. Emerging from the forest, the protagonist encounters a village cursed by a magical affliction. The only way to lift the curse is to sacrifice a magical artifact they acquired earlier, testing their selflessness. The protagonist faces a choice: keep the artifact, which grants personal power, or give it up to save the villagers. By choosing compassion, the protagonist unlocks a new power of healing symbolized by a burst of light and a transformation of the artifact into a token of protection. A hidden guardian of the village rewards the protagonist with a key to the next stage, blending magic and moral growth. The protagonist reaches the entrance of a dark, mystical cave covered in ancient symbols glowing faintly. The air hums with unseen energy, and whispers grow louder as they step inside. Inside, the protagonist encounters a labyrinth filled with echoing voices of doubt and fear, each one a manifestation of their insecurities. The echoes grow louder, testing their resolve. Guided by a mysterious inner voice reminding them of past victories, the protagonist begins to focus on the positive, drowning out the negative echoes. A sense of calm descends, and they find clarity. Deep within the cave, the protagonist discovers a glowing, translucent crystal that amplifies not fear, but courage. They touch it, and a vision of their true potential is revealed. The protagonist exits the cave to find a chasm with a shattered bridge, seemingly impassable. The setting is ethereal, with swirling mists and distant magical lights flickering across the gap. Ethereal beings, spirits of past adventurers, appear, offering help but only if the protagonist proves their trustworthiness and willingness to collaborate. The protagonist must solve a series of puzzles, each one requiring cooperation with the spirits. These tasks symbolize building trust and mutual understanding. As trust grows between the protagonist and the spirits, the broken sections of the bridge begin to reform piece by glowing piece, creating a radiant bridge of light. The protagonist crosses, but as they step onto the final section, they pause to thank their allies, acknowledging the lesson of unity and teamwork. The river is no ordinary waterway. It shifts its currents unpredictably, glowing under moonlight with an eerie silver hue. Whispers rise from the water, hinting at hidden dangers and mystical forces. The riverbanks and the water itself seem alive, responding to the protagonist's actions. Rocks rearrange themselves, creating either pathways or traps, depending on the traveler's intent and mindset. The protagonist must traverse the river using a combination of agility and strategy. They must construct a makeshift raft or find a narrow crossing, all while avoiding hidden whirlpools and sudden rapids. If accompanied by allies, the challenge emphasizes collaboration. Each person contributes a unique skill, reinforcing the moral that success is often collective rather than individual. The jungle is depicted as a living entity, with vines that seem to pulse with energy and flowers that emit a soft glow. Strange, harmonious sounds echo through the trees, blending natural noises with ethereal music. The jungle is protected by invisible guardian spirits believed to be ancient souls tied to the land. These spirits manifest as fleeting shadows or glowing orbs, appearing when the protagonist shows either respect or recklessness. The protagonist must find a safe path through dense foliage, avoiding hidden dangers like quicksand and carnivorous plants. The jungle constantly tests their courage and sense of direction. The spirits present riddles or moral dilemmas, challenging the protagonist to prove their worthiness. The spirits may offer guidance if the protagonist demonstrates humility and reverence for nature. The protagonist stumbles upon a hidden village deep in the jungle. The environment is dense, with tribal markings on trees and smoke rising from fires. Drums beat in the background, creating suspense. The tribe, adorned in vibrant ceremonial attire with symbolic body paint, appears suddenly, surrounding the protagonist. The tribe views the protagonist as an intruder. Their leader, a tall figure with a commanding presence, steps forward, speaking in an unfamiliar dialect. The tribe's warriors brandish spears and bows, signaling their readiness to defend their territory. The protagonist, instead of reacting with fear or aggression, uses gestures and respectful body language to de-escalate the situation. This moment highlights the importance of empathy and non-verbal communication in overcoming cultural barriers. With tensions easing, the protagonist embarks on a delicate process of negotiation and cultural exchange, uncovering vital lore about El Dorado. Around a central fire, the tribe's elders share tales of El Dorado through song, dance, and symbolic gestures. The protagonist learns that the city is not just a place of gold, but also a spiritual sanctuary protected by powerful guardians. The story reveals key elements. The guardians of El Dorado are spirits bound to protect the land's sacred treasures. The trials of the worthy are a series of tests that only the pure-hearted can pass. The heart of the jungle, a mystical artifact, is essential to finding El Dorado's true location. The protagonist realizes that wealth is secondary to wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. The journey is as much about personal growth as it is about finding El Dorado. As our hero ventures deeper into the jungle, he uncovers a hidden monolith, its surface etched with ancient carvings. The carvings are cryptic, filled with symbols that hint at both literal and metaphorical paths. As he touches the symbols, they glow, revealing more secrets. The jungle is lush but deceptive. Our hero must navigate its hidden threats, from toxic plants to swarms of biting insects. By observing nature, he learns to avoid danger and finds magical assistance in the form of a glowing plant, hinting at the jungle's dual nature. As the group ventures deeper into the jungle, tensions begin to surface. Fatigue, fear, and the increasing complexity of their journey create cracks in their unity. Small misunderstandings escalate into arguments, especially when resources such as food and water become scarce. Trust becomes a central issue when one of the explorers suggests that someone in the group might be hoarding supplies or hiding critical information. Accusations fly and the atmosphere becomes tense, highlighting human vulnerability and the psychological toll of prolonged adventures. A sense of unease is amplified by subtle magical phenomena. Whispering winds seem to echo personal fears, and the jungle appears to react to their discord, with paths shifting or becoming obscured when arguments flare. The story takes a darker turn as members of the group begin to vanish without a trace. One by one, individuals wander off, lured by strange sounds or visions. The remaining explorers feel the mounting tension as they search for their missing companions. They come across clues, a discarded backpack, footprints that abruptly stop, but no clear answers. The jungle's dense foliage and eerie silence deepen the sense of dread. The disappearances are linked to the magical energy of the jungle. The group realizes that those who succumb to their fears or doubts are the ones most vulnerable. Legends of guardian spirits come to life, suggesting that the jungle itself might be testing their worthiness.